When you go to a physio, you go to a chiropractor, you go to a massage therapist, and these other professions that I guess are very similar to ours, they're businesses. And you go to a physio and they say, look, Jason, I want to see you twice this week. And you ask them for a discount. You go, well, because I'm coming twice this week and I've got to do the same next week, can I get a discount? Number one, hey, if you've asked, all good. But I can assure you the physio's going to say, well, no, mate, my time's my time. That's what it costs to, spend that session with me for me to work on you. And I can remember that exact same moment where I was in a physio. This is back in my early 20s. I'm now 43. And I was about 4 or 5 years, maybe only 4 years into my PT business. And exactly what I would do is I would discount my service if people did one or more than one session, without really thinking about why would I do that in the first place. It was coming from me. I discounted before even figuring out if discounting was required. And so because I was doing that, I've gone to the physio and, that's the situation that happened. I said, mate, do I get a discount? Kind of half joking, half serious. And he looked at me like, well, no, good on you for asking, but no, the price is the price. My time is my time. If I'm not seeing you, I'll book another client, And it was that moment I went, what? So why am I discounting my service? Why am I not valuing my time? Just because a client wants to do more than one session. But it wasn't the client's fault. It was mine, because what I did was I just started thinking, and I see it a lot in our industry, this common practice of going, if my client's going to do more than one session, then I'll just automatically tell them they're going to get a discount. And it's crazy. It's crazy thinking. It's not business minded at all. And what I realized is I was stealing from myself. Could you imagine going to a day job and the boss says to you one day, hey, look, Jason, here's what we're going to do. You're going to do the same amount of hours, but we're going to pay you $10,000 less. What would your response be? You would not be happy. You would not even stay in that role. You would go and get yourself another job. So why is it, as people who are running our own business, we are stealing from ourselves and making it harder to earn the income we want rather than making it easier? And it's unfortunately, there's that conditioning out there, especially in our industry, that it's better if people do more than one session because, we'll make more. But if you worked it out, if you actually stopped, and what I did was I worked out over 4 years, I actually stopped. And this is the painful part, but this is awareness. This is the part that stopped me from doing it. I actually stopped and I looked at, over the 4 years I've been running my business, I worked out on average, most of my clients did 2 sessions a week. I was discounting each of those sessions by $10. So if you did one session, it was this price. If you did 2, you saved $10 per session. I worked out that over 4 years, I actually lost about $25,000 to $30,000 over that time. So we're talking a huge amount. It was almost 10 to, actually it was more than that. I think it was more like 15 grand a year I was actually missing out on. But I had to still do the same amount of work, and to make more money, I had to do more. And so the point today is that discounting, I have no problems with discounting if it makes sense, if you've actually stopped and worked out your facts and figures. And there's a way that we do discounting where you earn what you want. There's actually the amount you want. There's actually a theory behind it, not just going and discounting because you think it's required. And so I was speaking to a potential new client yesterday, and this exact conversation came up, and they were telling me that, if someone does 2 sessions, that they discount it from, let's just say from 50 to 60. And I said, okay, so that person's effectively saving $20 per week. You're now losing $20 per week. That's one client. Imagine if you had 10 clients now, I said to them, that we're all doing 2 sessions per week. And that's now $200 per week you're missing out on. Times that by a month, then we know that it's we know it's $800. We know over the course of the year. Now we're looking at close to $10,000 that you've now robbed from yourself without even figuring out if that's needed. So my advice is your time is your time. The service is the service. Why discount when it's coming from you, it's not from them? Mostly, me as the potential client, I haven't asked for the discount. It's me that have said that and said, look, if you do 2 sessions, we'll reduce the cost. But why would you want to earn less for doing the same or have to do more work to earn the same amount of money? It just doesn't make sense. So I really encourage you to challenge your thinking on that. You might think, from your experience now that when you start a business that it seemed like the right thing to do, but you're actually making your work harder. You're robbing from yourself. You're really discounting and devaluing what you do, and your time's your time. So for every person that you've discounted, it's costing you money. On the flip side, you could be making more from having a full paid session in there. So I really challenge you to stop and think about that today and look at your pricing. Now, a tip that I'll share with you, and I was sharing this with this potential new client yesterday, as I said, look, here's how we do it at Create PT Wealth. Here's how I did it in my business well after that situation. And here's what we educate everyone that we train on. And it's like when you're dealing with a client, I was going, there might be a price that you're currently charging. Let's just keep it simple. Say at the moment, as a PT, I want to get $60 per session. However, what I'd really like to be charging is $80 per session. And so that's where I'm going to build myself up to. That's where I want to eventually get to in the near future. And so what we encourage is when you are selling your service that you put the price that you actually would rather be getting paid. The way that we also do it, and this is another part of this process that I'll touch on briefly, is that we wanted people on direct debit, or I call it pay as you go. And so the way that we would word it when we had a client is there's a couple of things. I would say, Mr. Prospect or Miss Prospect, based on what you've told me, I will need to be able to see you twice a week would be my recommendation. What you're going to get is you're going to get 2 sessions every week. You're going to get your nutritional guide done for you. You're going to get monthly reviews. So we bonus it up because we believe in selling programs and end result. Don't sell personal training because you become a commodity. But anyway, it'll come down to the point you go, well, what that's going to be, the fee is going to be, $120 per week. We'd say in this case $160 per week. Or you could break it down into sessions. So this makes it easier for you to understand this video. You might go, per session it's going to be, $80 per session. And so what I'm looking for there is people to get in their mind that I've done a good job in the sales process so they see the value that they would be prepared to pay the 80. Couple of things, I'm starting to train and condition myself that I'm worth that much, that I could present and sell that. The second part is I see evidence of that from saying it out loud. Then the next part that I do is I say, however, Mr. Prospect or Miss Prospect, virtually no one pays that because on our pay-as-you-go system, that's where you get our greatest discounted rate. And that's going to bring it down to $60 per session. That's what it'd work out to be, plus the bonuses you're going to get. Now, Mr. Prospect or Miss Prospect, are you the type of person who'd rather pay the rather larger upfront fee, which is, if we break the role play here for a sec, that means cash, because we want to avoid getting the cash, or would you rather get the greatest discount and pay as you go? And most people are obviously going to say, well, I'd rather get the greatest discount and pay as you go. And we would say, well, that's why 99% of our clients choose that method. And why wouldn't you, to get the greatest discount? Now, again, to pause so you get the psychology of what we're doing here, is $60 is actually what we want to get paid. That's the rate that I want per session. To turn up and exchange my time for money, that's what I want to get paid. Not it's 60 and now I'm cutting myself down because I do 2 sessions of 50. Now I'm robbing for myself. No, it's 60. For the potential client, it's a no-brainer because they're going, wow, from 80 to 60, that's $20 savings. That's great. I'm going to do that. 2 sessions, it's 120. That's not negotiable, but the discount has been there, so people love a discount. From what I've explained, you get the concept in all the different areas. It's not just about the price. It's not just about that. There's so many moving parts to this. This is why you can see it's so important to have this part of your business sorted. This is why we educate people, our coaching clients, on this, because it rather means it's going to cost you, like in my case, tens of thousands of dollars over the course of the year, because you think you're saving someone $10 or $20 a week, but it's costing you, as we talked about, a lot more money. If you keep that mindset, keep that system running, over the course of your career, 5 years, 10 years, you've ultimately sold hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars. So you've got to look at it from that perspective. Getting back to point though, the reality is then if you did have that person, there is always that type of person, right, who's going to ask for, even a bigger discount. My experience, 99.9% of the time, if you pitch it that way, you do it that way, people aren't going to ask because they're already clever enough to know that it was going to be 80, it's now 60. You're happy with that because that's the rate you actually want to get paid. If someone does, let's just do the hypothetical, someone does go, hey, can I get a greater discount because I'm doing 2 sessions? You go, well, you've got our greatest discounted rate because it's normally 80, 60. That's you've got our greatest discounted rate anyway. So good on them for asking, but this is where you have already provided them with a great opportunity, a great discount, and you don't rob from yourself. And no longer are you making your business harder, robbing from yourself, not getting the income you want because you're discounting. So, really discounting gets misused in here, and it really does impact the business owner. We start to think for clients, thinking we need to do it without even finding any evidence if it's required. It boils down to facts and figures in your business. You're here, you're doing all this work, you're taking on this responsibility, risk of running a business to make it more profitable, I imagine. So I hope this tip's helped. I hope it's really stopped you to think, yeah, I've got to make a change now before it starts and continues to cost me more money. I don't need a discount in that negative fashion. If I'm going to do it, I'll do it the way that I've just explained. So everyone feels like they have a win. You're getting the income you want to get, and there's so many more benefits to it. All right, hope you've enjoyed that. If you have enjoyed it, please leave a comment, thumbs up, comment. Thanks, Jace, or that was crap, brush your hair next time. I don't care. Leave a comment. Love your interaction. It really does help spread the message to others. Increases there you go. Beautiful. Thumbs up already. Beautiful. That's all it takes. If you like something from this video, leave a comment, share what it is. It helps other people as well. Helps, as you know, with Facebook, spread the word, and together we can all join together and make a big difference. All right. Hope you had a great week so far, and looking forward to doing more live videos real soon.